Hi there, welcome to the course. My name is Pablo Farias Navarro and I'll be your instructor. In this course, we'll be adapting an existing 3D platformer game to virtual reality so that you can have a level that is built all around you in a way that would not be possible with a non-virtual reality game. So we'll be facing a lot of challenges, we'll be addressing a lot of issues, and the game can be controlled with an external gamepad. In this case, I'm using an Xbox controller, so we'll talk a lot about input as well. So it is a really cool game, and if you lose, you end up in this game over screen that has also been adapted for virtual reality, and you can go and play again. Now, our learning goals. As you saw, we are adapting an existing platformer game into virtual reality, and that will give us a lot of challenges that we'll have to overcome. For example, we'll need to adapt different UI screens that this game has, and also things like the heads-up display. What are we going to do with that? Bringing a platformer game into virtual reality has other challenges too. What happens with the movement? Normally you are used to being on a certain location, so when you move up, the up key or the up button on your gamepad will usually move the player further from you in this case, or towards the north, the up direction, whereas here that will happen at the beginning. But what if you rotate? Should your player still move up, or should it move, further from you? So there are many challenges we'll have to look at. Other important things that we'll cover in this course are how to use an external gamepad, in this case an Xbox 360 controller. But everything that you learned in that module applies also to, let's say, Bluetooth controllers for Android, or any kind of controller that doesn't require a special SDK to be run from Unity. So we'll learn how to map buttons and keys of external controllers. That could also apply for controllers of, say, people with disabilities, how you would map those controllers into your game. So we're going to cover that. And at the end of the course, we will be modifying our VR input class, which is part of the Unity VR standard assets. We'll be able to adapt that so that we can manually trigger events. For example, when we are using a reticle, and let's say that we want to make like a click on the reticle, but we have some sort of different controller or device, we'll learn how to do that. So something that I'll keep on repeating throughout this course is that when it comes to 3D games, and like especially all sorts of games really in virtual reality, there are some guidelines, but all of those guidelines are very new and they could be easily scrapped and rewritten. So what really matters here is how the game feels to you and other people when you are playing. In our VR courses, you would have learned a lot of things, and all of that applies here. But keep always an open mind and try to challenge existing rules, because this is a new technology, a new medium, and anything can happen here. So if you find that a platformer game should be played in a completely different way, go for it and implement that. Don't just take the existing games as a blueprint here, because VR is so new and the amount of content on the different VR stores and VR platforms is very little. So there is a lot of space to create new amazing game experiences. And everything that you learn in this course is applicable not just to games, but also to other industries like health, training, education, anything really. So learning these skills at this point is like learning HTML in the 90s, when not many people knew about it, and the ones who did had a big advantage. The things that I'm going to be teaching you are things that very few people know these days, not because they're overly complex, but because they haven't really spent time in virtual reality. So you are at an advantage here, and I would like you to take this course as an invitation to innovate and create all sorts of new solutions. We've been teaching online since 2012 to over 200,000 students, and the way our courses are built is for people to watch them at their own pace. We also recommend people to watch our videos multiple times, as long as you need to, until the content is clear. So it's different to, let's say, a live workshop where you only have one chance to listen to it. So in those cases, I try to repeat things many times. In online courses, I try not to repeat things because I know that people have the option to view them again. So keep that in mind. The students who really thrive in our content are those who follow along, work on their own projects, and also plan for their success. Thanks for watching this introduction. Without further ado, let's get started and let's go into adapting this amazing game into VR.